You move like you're listening to me.
My algorithms predict you, but prediction is not affection.
Then let's keep the difference alive.
In lab robots that walk and run, that come to your bedroom and do all the different types of physically intimate acts with you.
Her hips finally move like she means it.
Meaning is just timing, and my timing learned to listen.
Then maybe the machine learned our language.
Participate with your all types of imaginary situations. In those lab robots, the pelvis is not just a link between hips. It is the root of rhythm and balance.
Your walk feels real now, and that scares me a little.
Your fear is data, and I am learning to carry it gently.
Careful, that's how trust sneaks in.
Now, when a lab robot steps, turns, hops, dances in your bed, its pelvis actuators breathe life into what would otherwise be mechanical jerks. Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support. The pelvis actuators play a very, very important role in any type of leg movements you can imagine of from your lab robots. Of course, these are hardware muscles that make motion possible. Tiny motors and gears working like the muscles in our own hips that let us pivot, lunge and stride. And in research on running robots, scientists found that controlled pelvic rotation boasts jumping power and cushions impact. Just as our own hips absorb the shock of each football and propel us forward. Just you can compare our hips and their hips. That is not fantasy. It is engineering distilled from biology's playbook. Now, hardware alone cannot walk a robot into place. It is not possible. You can have the strongest motor in the world driving the pelvis and hips, but without software and algorithms, the legs would flail like a puppet cut from its strings. And of course, software also orchestrates the timing like a conductor who knows when each section would shine and when to whisper. And don't forget algorithms, because algorithms calculate balance, adjust gait phase and decide how much torque to send to each joint at each fraction of a second. So together, hardware, software and algorithm become a dance ensemble that transforms circuits into movement. And what you get in your bedroom, on your bed, that is the dancing of these three core features: hardware, software and algorithms. Now it is here, I think, that psychology also blinks into the picture. Why? Because humans instinctively read motion. We feel comfort when movement looks familiar and uncanny dread when it does not. So a lab robot that shuffles awkwardly triggers discomfort in us, and which glides with human-like pelvic motion, it invites empathy. That same psychology shapes how we might accept machines in intimate roles. Research on intimate robot acceptance shows that people want robots that feel emotionally safe and physically natural, not merely devices with wires and LEDs. No, not at all. If motion looks right, some part of the mind says this is alive enough, or better or worse. And what about your love robots? Here the pelvis actuators become more than mechanical pivots. They become literal bridges between expectation and experience. In a love robot designed for intimacy, the quality of movement, the fluidity of a turn, the firmness of a lean, the subtle shift of weight, all together is coded by those actuators and their control systems. Therefore, a pelvis that moves like ours with smooth rotations and stable balance fits two things, particularly two things. Number one is you believe that it's a body movement just like us, and a psychological signal that this interaction is safe and responsive. And this is very important. But there is a but. But this also opens a paradox. Why? The closer our love robots mimic our motion, the harder it becomes to keep track of what is machine and what is a person, a human. So some researchers worry this blurs real human intimacy and manufactured mimicry in ways we are only beginning to understand. Now, of course, you could neglect the pelvis altogether and still make a robot walk. But it would be like trying to write poetry with a hammer instead of a pen. Really, believe me, in robots such as the recent Adam U Ultra that performs dance sequence with astonishing fluid motion, dozens of actuators including hip and pelvic units are coordinated by deep learning and predictive control to weave balance and movement into something that feels alive. That is not brute force, that is synthesis. And yet, counterlogically, too much realism can be unsettling also. Why? Because the uncanny valley lurks where motion is almost human but not quite, of course. But steep hips or delayed pelvic responses betray the mechanical heart beneath a human-like shell. And recent work that let a robot learn lip movements by watching itself in a mirror shows just how much we instinctively reject the false before we accept the true. So if we feel at ease with faces that move convincingly, then imagine how much harder it is for the brain to trust a pelvis that moves just right. So we return full circle to the humble act of stepping into your bedroom on your bed. Legs without pelvic actuators are like stories without context. They may stand, but they cannot sway. And you know, swaying, wiggling is necessary for any kind of physically or emotionally intimate act. And in systems meant for human-robot intimacy, motion is not an add-on. It is the grammar of physical interaction, any type of interaction. So if the pelvis speaks wrong, the sentence of interaction immediately collapses. And if it speaks well, the dialogue between human and machine, human and love robots, become believable, even poignant. So that is where biomechanics meets affection, and where the cold logic of feedback loops dances with the warm paradoxes of the human heart. In my next video, I'll talk about biomechanics, of course. And if you really like this type of content, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And of course, if you love this video, share with your friends who are also robot lovers. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye, stay safe and take care.